What's up guys, it's Sunday, which means there's a new market update. In today's video we're going to talk about the usual assets, so Bitcoin, Ethereum and gold. I will also take a quick look at Solana like last week, and let me know in the comments if I should do other coins, other assets, maybe look at Nasdaq or other stocks. You can always leave it in the comments and I'll see if I can include them in the next market update video. But as always, let's start with the video. Like and subscribe, I really appreciate that, and join the Discord if you want to join the trading community. Free education, free market updates, free daily updates, setups, everything is there. So let's start with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, since the dump, half November, we've seen some upside, some downside, and I feel like the market is really between, or at least the people are in between bullish and bearish. One moment they're saying, oh, bearish, yeah, we're going to make new lows. Other moment they say, oh yeah, the bull market is going to continue right now. So there's a lot of fear and greed at the same time. I feel like it's really bouncing up and down, and Bitcoin is also bouncing up and down. We see this is the upside of this range, this is downside of this range. But currently, so we're on a 4-hour time frame. Bitcoin is for the past week, basically, because this was the last week, we've seen some pumps, a dump again, pump, dump. Not really seeing any progress in any direction. They're just creating some liquidity, creating some moves. There was a news event this week which was pretty volatile, but nothing really happened out of that move. As you see, we got a move, but they couldn't continue the move. So currently we're looking at some important levels. Firstly, this zone is a very strong support, and Bitcoin surely has to hold this, because otherwise, as you see here, there's not much here. We've got some liquidity here, but yeah, those are already sweeps, and those are not really good support levels or zones where you can look for potential reversals. And this was a very quick bump, and that means that when we go back in the zone, it's going to be a quick dump. As we saw here, dump, there is not that much liquidity in this zone, so we get a straight bump, and we have a lot here, dump, pump. Most of the time, if you have a great push upwards and price comes back to that zone where the great push was, we get a great push downwards without many interruptions or some ranging like here. So this is the most important zone. If you look upside potential, I don't like these sort of boxes. I'm drawing them now to explain it, but this is the main resistance of this zone. And if you look locally, then we have to gain this level, or at least here your 4-hourly move to the low. Two important levels. If you look more downside, let me just show all the levels in my daily folder. These are the main things. So we have strong support here. We already tapped this level here, which gave us a nice move. The level was called in the server, by the way, so it was a great trading opportunity. And then the main support here, but I like to make it zones like this a box, because price can retrace anywhere in this box. More levels below, of course, and upside, this is the most important zone prices to gain. And in case price gains this, surely expect Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to, the market decides where we want to go through. Either we see a nice push up, or we break support levels and we go down. However, where we are right now, we need a 4% pump, to get to the highs again, which is a pretty okay pump. Of course, on Bitcoin it's surely possible, that's something crazy, but still. And then the main thing for prices to gain is the 4-hourly / daily move to the low. It's a daily, my bad. The daily move to low, they created bottom of this dump of the past few weeks. And then we can say, okay, we're back in an uptrend. Price can look for highs again, not entirely all-time highs, because that's still like a 20% pump from there, and we don't have to talk about that yet. But most important, resistance zone have called this level for several weeks now. That is a region you want to look for shorts, or if price aggressively gains it, for continuation longs, of course. So on Bitcoin, these are the levels. If you look at Ethereum, it's basically the same thing, but one big difference, and that is a big difference you have to pay attention to. Bitcoin, after dumping last weekend, we saw new highs, but pretty equal to the last highs. It was not like we were making high highs, high lows, we were clearly an uptrend. That was not the case. Now Ethereum it was, and that's what I really like. We see here we're in a clear uptrend, which is very good. So we keep making new highs, as you see. So Ethereum did make a new high after this drop. They did make a new high. Of course, they didn't really gain that level, because on the daily it just looks like a sweep, which looks a bit bearish. But this is very positive, even though they couldn't fully gain it, or on the daily it looks like they just sweeped it and reversed from there. This is very positive, surely because you haven't made a new low yet compared to your previous low. So Ethereum is surely looking nice. Surely more upside potential. Levels on Ethereum for now is this is the main support. they gain hold of this move which made new highs. And yeah, this is a level, not the most important level, but this level can surely indicate if price gains it that we move to new highs. And yeah, I still have this level here. Of course, it got tested and tapped by the last pump, and I still think this level is a nice indicator to see if price can move. And then we have a lot of levels above, but that's not for now. Below, yeah, this is the main support as mentioned, and then we have some levels here. So both Bitcoin and Ethereum have some support levels below, so we don't have to be scared that we are suddenly going to dump 10-20%. Surely not, but I do like Ethereum a bit more, and I also said in last week's video that the structure on Ethereum is looking better, and it did make a new high compared to Bitcoin. So my gut feeling was right there, and I feel like the same, that Ethereum has a bit more upside potential. Does that mean that Ethereum will pump 10% on one day and Bitcoin will do nothing? Of course not. But I do feel like Ethereum, structure-wise, price action-wise, is doing a bit better than Bitcoin at the moment. But still, it's either both will pump or both will dump. We rarely see Bitcoin dumping and ETH pumping like crazy. That doesn't really happen. So if we take a look on Solana, I don't want to do a full analysis on Solana this time, but we can clearly see one thing. This level, this box was also in last week's video, and not in the week before because I didn't talk about Solana and that one. But yeah, that is a very strong resistance box. There's a lot of liquidity here, short liquidity, and you see it, price already tapped it 4 times, but price can't break it, and that is a bit worrying. For Solana, surely, as mentioned, if Bitcoin and Ethereum break their levels, Solana will follow and pump. So it's not like Solana is the main character in this space. Surely not. But it is important. They rejected it a few times. Of course, they are making higher lows, which is also good. So I don't really like these types of things, but you see some compression here. Price going up, and then here you can expect a breakout. I don't really like the pattern, but often it is right that when price does something like this, there will be a breakout soon. But don't pay too much attention to that pattern. I'm just saying that it's making higher lows, not higher highs. But that doesn't instantly mean it's bad. But yeah, I would have preferred Solana with this pump, maybe tap this level, then dropped again, and then maybe made equal highs or at least gain the level. But now they just keep on, yeah, bouncing against that same resistance. Then if you look at gold, let me explain this without this first. Yeah, gold's only up. Surely last week was an amazing week. Amazing week for gold. They're looking for all-time highs. It's what, like, it was 1% of all-time high, now 2%. Of course, it's weekend now, so gold market is closed, so price is not moving. Yeah, it's since this dump, which was pretty significant, seeing that gold only pumped the last weeks, saw what 8% dump, 10% dump, which is pretty much in the gold market, on the gold market. But yeah, we saw a very nice reaction, very healthy reaction. If you look at the structure, high highs, high lows, higher highs, high lows, very healthy. Yeah, liquidity and our levels were respected, and we really did bolster the gold market this week. Our levels were respected. If I can open this, yeah, this level, mentioned this for several weeks when we were down here already, that this level was going to be an important level. Nice sweep, and now you see that price yeah, gave a pretty strong reaction and then sweep the move to the high, as we call it in PA terms. So gold is doing very well. It's looking very great. That's also why I mentioned in several videos that I like to trade gold. It just respects the levels. It's a very mature market. It respects the price action levels. So, and you can clearly see it. So surely more upside potential for gold now. However, I would be cautious because of course many people long here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some type of stop loss flush where we see a little dump to take out all the longs, possibly like to this zone, because yeah, all long liquidity here ready to get swept or to get swept. But yeah, currently it's looking good for gold. I wouldn't be surprised if we move to new all-time highs. I also wouldn't be surprised if we drop a little lower first, but for next week will surely make new all-time highs. I think unless a macroeconomic event turns out to be bad, I think gold is surely looking to make new all-time highs because price action is looking very well. So yeah, these are all support levels. Closely is of course this sweep, that is a bit of support, but I don't think you have to look for longs here. I would not look for longs anymore unless price really drops back here, because yeah, I think the probability to long is just not there. I said I expect price to make new highs, but to long in this zone here, and yeah, of course you can trade it, but the probability personally for me isn't there. Surely if Bitcoin if gold drops here, you can surely take a long there, but for now I'll mainly look for shorts actually. Because as said, I think price might retrace for a second and then make the push to new all-time highs. So that was the market update for today. I mentioned Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and gold. And it's actually looking pretty okay for a lot, surely for gold. Bitcoin, Ethereum, they have seen some bounce between support and resistance between certain levels, but it looks okay heading into next week. And Solana just boxing against resistance, but that should be alright for the next weeks. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Surely join the PA Trading community. Links in the description for the Discord. We post signals, daily updates, market updates, everything. And there's a free course in there, everything you need. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.